For almost a week now, protesters have gathered outside of this abattoir, furious after watching a video that appears to show what happens to animals once they arrive here. The secretly filmed footage was released last week. Much of it is too graphic to show, but over the course of the video, several sheep and goats appear to be forcefully manhandled and hit by workers. Some are forced to watch others being slaughtered, whilst workers appear to mock them. Others look to be dismembered while still showing signs of life. The Halal slaughterhouse belongs to a business called TNS Abattoir. It moved to this site in 2023, but began operations in April last year, which is when Carolyn McKay, who lives nearby, began to suspect potential abuse.
We realised that the noises the animals were making were not of animals that were being looked after properly. There was such fear and panic in the noise that was emanating around the village.
The concerns were eventually picked up by Joey Carbstrong, an Australian filmmaker and animal rights activist who placed hidden cameras inside the abattoir.
I come straight down here and we had a look and just sussed the place out a bit, and I'm mostly concerned about what's going on to the animals. So then we took the tip-off seriously and initiated the investigation.
Joey claims to have found multiple instances of possible illegality at the abattoir in relation to the rough handling of the animals and ineffective restraints during slaughter. Under government regulations, halal slaughterhouses must wait a minimum of 20 seconds after cutting sheep and goats to ensure they've lost consciousness. But Jenny Mace, an animal welfare researcher, told us that according to her, that wasn't happening.
The staff, the slaughterer, is supposed to be systematically checking for an absence of consciousness in the sheep. It was clear that there were no systematic checks going on for consciousness in the sheep before they were being moved. Sometimes it was so blatant that there was consciousness still present because of the extent of movement going on.
TNS Abattoir has since responded, saying, "We have taken the necessary action and terminated contracts of those thought to be involved, as this goes completely against our values and animal welfare policies." It went on to say the footage is thought to have been taken in July 2024, and continual improvements have been made since that time, including adding more CCTV, improvements of restraining equipment, and incorporating a 20-plus second timer. It also says it's introduced more experienced management to oversee operations to ensure animal welfare policy is always adhered to. The abattoir says it is now working with relevant authorities as investigations are carried out. But there's still anger in Ali at what many perceive as unnecessary suffering endured by animals in their final moments.
Well, Pablo joins us now. And Pablo, just to clarify, what exactly are the protesters objecting to?
Well, the one thing protesters were clear about was that this was not a campaign against the practice of halal or an attack on anyone's religion or religious practices. This was purely about highlighting potential mistreatment of the sheep and goats before they were slaughtered.
What has the Food Standards Agency had to say about all this?
Right, well, the Food Standards Agency, who regulate the industry, told us that they are taking the issue seriously and have already taken action to suspend several individuals from handling live animals. They say they received the footage a month ago and believed it was filmed in the summer of 2024. Now, they added that we had already identified and appropriately enforced animal welfare failures at this establishment prior to being sent the covert footage. Since last summer, we've put in place increased official presence and have continued to work on site to ensure improvements were made. It would be inappropriate to comment further at this stage as the investigation is ongoing, but we will not hesitate to take more action where required as we have a zero tolerance approach to animal welfare breaches.